Hey, y'all, and welcome back to No Longer Allowed with Kristen. Today, we are talking about the fight or flight response. We've heard of it, we know what it is, but I want to talk about it today because we are living in it constantly. And most of us don't understand how it's running our lives. And I'll be honest with y'all right now, I'm actually experiencing this right now as I record this episode. Not over this episode, but over something else. I am in the middle of filming the videos for Unbecome, my 8-week group coaching program. And when I first came up with Unbecome, I was like, yes, I was so excited. I can do this. I come on here weekly, I do these podcasts, and I film them. It's not like I'm just speaking into a microphone with no one watching. I actually film these and they go on video and published out to the world. Think you can watch it on Spotify. You can watch the video. And then I also put it on YouTube. And I think Apple's actually kind of moving to the video platform soon. And when I sit down to film Unbecome content for the videos, it's deeper, it's more in depth than my podcast, I find. And my brain is freezing. Everything I've learned, everything I've studied, everything I've lived, it feels like it just leaves me. And that is exactly what we're talking about today. Because why not? This episode is 13, and I'm proud of myself for being here. And I'm going to use my own freeze as the lesson for today's episode. Before we get into the science of what's actually happening, I want to give a quick little recap of the 10-day shift because I never really got to dive into that properly on the episode because of the way how I record. And I kind of wanted to just soak it in first. That was my first challenge of starting my coaching business. And let's see, this is what happened. 96 women signed up for the 10-day challenge. 96, y'all. That is still wild to me. I started all of this in January with barely any offers. All I had was the 5-day reset. Didn't know what I was going to do. And 96 women came into my world for July. Now, if you were in that group, there was 25 women that showed up to the actual WhatsApp group. And that was amazing. I was shocked for that because I knew that was my next hurdle was to get people into the actual room. And there was 25 women who I know some showed up onto the app and then some did this in private. And I'm just so proud of all of those women that came in and they showed up and they just took a chance and they trusted me. And then I still don't have the words for it. And to the women who did sign up but didn't make it into the room, I want you to know, I understand. What happened to you is exactly what we're talking about today. The motivation came, the excitement was real, and then when it was time to actually get into that room and sit with your own patterns, your nervous system said no. Not because you didn't want it, because it felt threatening, unfamiliar, and uncomfortable. I would have done the same thing 3 years ago. And look at me now. I'm having some sort of the same thing just to film some videos that are going to go out to the members of Unbecome. And I had a moment recently while working on Unbecome where I thought, why was I called to do this? This is hard. Getting women to stop, look at their patterns, and actually do the inner work is not easy. Why me? Why did I have to get picked for this? And I really had that thought. And then I realized the answer. It's because I needed it first. I lived the loop. I did a lot of this work alone before I even knew what group coaching was and if that even existed. I probably should have gotten into a room sooner than I did, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I'm the right person to walk someone else through it because I walked through it first. That's what I was called to do. And this isn't just about seeing this pattern in the 10-day shift. This happens everywhere all the time for everybody. I'm going to give y'all the classic example of this. And we all know it because we have all done it at some point in our life. January comes around and you sign up for that gym membership. The motivation is real. The intention is genuine. And then February hits and you haven't been there in 3 weeks. Not because you're lazy, because motivation is a feeling and feelings don't sustain themselves. Commitment is a decision you make even when the feeling is gone. Think about anything you've ever signed up for, bought, or started with full excitement. The new planner, the online course, the diet that started on a Monday, The motivation gets you in the door. But the moment it requires something uncomfortable, showing up when you don't feel like it, sitting with something hard, doing the things when your brain is telling you to stop, that's where most people exit. And the exit isn't failure. It's just your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Keep you safe in the familiar. So let me get a little scientific for just a second. Just enough to make this click, okay? When your brain perceives a threat, real or imagined, your amygdala fires. That's the part of your brain responsible for processing emotions and triggering survival responses. It sends distress signal and your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate goes up. Your breathing gets shallow, and the activity in your prefrontal cortex, the part that's responsible for rational thinking, decision making, and problem solving, that gets suppressed. Here's why that matters. When your prefrontal cortex is offline, you literally cannot think clearly. You cannot reason your way out of it. You cannot logic yourself into the brave step, because the part of your brain that does that is temporarily unavailable. Most of us know fight or flight. But what most people don't talk about is the third response of freeze. Freeze happens when your nervous system decides the threat is too big to fight and too fast to run from it. So it just stops. And here is the thing. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a lion chasing you and being asked to show up in a room and look at all your patterns. But both feel like a threat. Both trigger the same response. And that's not weakness. That's wiring. And here's what makes it harder. We are living in a constant low-grade state of fight or flight right now. The notifications, the news, the mental load, the never-ending to-do list. Your nervous system never fully can calm down. So when something actually requires you to be brave, to show up, to commit, to be seen, you're already running on a dysregulated system that is primed to say no. And this is exactly why the work we do in Unbecome, which starts with the nervous system. You cannot unbecome patterns you can't even see clearly. And you can't see clearly when your brain is in survival mode. And I don't even know if I came out and said what Unbecome is. If you're not on my email list, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, Unbecome is my 8-week group coaching experience. I was about to say program, but I'm going to call it an experience. Every Sunday, you get a video drop, the top we're working on through that week. Every Thursday, we get a live group coaching call that's going to be on Zoom, and you bring what came up during the week, the breakthroughs, the resistance, the moments you caught yourself in the loop. We work through it in real time together. There's also a private WhatsApp community for in-between sessions. There's going to be weekly worksheets for you to do, journal prompts built around each week's theme, and you get lifetime access to it all. And here's what I want you to understand about being in the room with other women doing the work at the same time as you. You can Google everything. You can chat GPT it all. You can read the books, but information without proximity doesn't change you. Being in the room does. When someone says something on a Thursday call and you think, I have never heard anyone say that out loud, but I've thought the same exact thing 100 times. That moment of recognition is not something you get from a search engine. That's what changes people. Unbecome, it's going to start on August 31st, and the link is in my show notes and it's in my Instagram bio. So before I let you go for today, here are the 3 things that I want you to walk away with from this episode. So number 1, your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a real threat and an uncomfortable opportunity. The freeze, the resistance, the excuses, that's not weakness. That's wiring. And the first step to changing it is recognizing it for what it actually is. And number 2, motivation gets you to sign up. Commitment gets you in the room. Those are 2 totally different things. The gap between signing up and showing up is where most people live. Notice where you stop and ask yourself honestly, is this a real obstacle, or is it my nervous system trying to keep me safe in the familiar, even when the familiar is hell? Number 3, you cannot think your way out of a nervous system that is in a threat response. Willpower alone will never be enough. You have to actually learn to regulate it. That's a skill, and it is a learnable one. So thank y'all all so much for being here. If this hit home, share it with someone you know, because that is how we grow. I am Kristen Falgoust. This is No Longer Allowed. And running on motivation alone without ever learning to regulate what's underneath it, that's no longer allowed. I'll see y'all in the next episode.